We are live. Sunday night live. Let's get on to the comments. How many people? It's maybe still playing the. Let me check that the sound is okay. There's 55 people online. Going for 55. We're going for 54 this season. Let's get to some of the comments first of all. And I'm going to talk about a few things tonight. Obviously, the big one is Alan Stubbs. Alan Stubbs reckons the Celtic will win the league this season by 15 points. Got yourself, Stubbsy. Right, let's get some of the hail from Amsterdam boys. Right, let's go back to the beginning. Suarez, I see. Good evening, guys. Watched the game yesterday. Wolves will definitely bring in a keeper. And as Joe Hart still makes those mistakes 30 seconds into the match. Yeah, we spoke about that this morning as well, Tony. It's unbelievable that he still makes those mistakes, but it is what it is. You know, we do need another keeper. Good evening, Celtic supporters. I'll get into all the comments first of all. Good evening, Celtic supporters all around the world. Hail from Brecon. Rob, hi, how are you this evening? How's the weather with everyone? It doesn't matter. Let's talk about Celtic. Hail, troops, everyone. I put up a link. I'll read out what the clubs say. Obviously, James Forrest testimonial this week, and Ouija Boy from Drum Chapel, and then they put out a statement, and they've got it in English, so you can read it yourself. But what I'll do is I will read it out because it's actually quite nice. Hail troops. Spud Willis says hail troops for Amsterdam. Evening Barry. Evening Paul. Hail. Soapy says hail troops. David Cameron. David Canvana, sorry, Cameron, Jesus Christ. Hail from sunny Spain. It is sunny, and I was at the beach for the second day in a row. Second day in a row this year I've went to the beach. It's funny because when you stay here, you tend not to go to the beach, and everybody that works here tends to never have a tan because they're always too busy. Hail from Belfast. How's it going? It's doing fine. Hail, Paul. How are you evening? Good evening from Perth, Australia. We are all around the world. We're in Amsterdam. We're in Perth, Australia. Come on, let's get this going tonight. I want this to be a really good live tonight. I've even got one of my gluten-free beers on the go. Dublin is in the house. Brilliant. I want this to get right around the world again, just to prove that we are all around. Frankie boy, hail. Need a goalkeeper before it's too late. Cannot limp into January with this bomb scare. Yeah, we'll talk about the game yesterday, and we'll get all the hellos and that out of the way first of all. We'll just skip through them all, get as many on as possible. Corby's in the house. What's in the house? Let's see, watching the Wolves game yesterday in the background just now. Yep, I'm probably going to have the James Forrest game. Probably going to have it on the TV behind me, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to have that in the background. So what I need to do is probably turn my desk around so that we can watch the game and comment about it. We can watch the game together and we can have this chat up. How do you feel about that? Tell me in the comments if you want to do that. It'll be an interesting. I've never done that type of thing before. I know a couple of other big channels that do it, and I know another channel in Scotland that used to do it, Pure Scottish Football. You remember him? Yep, he's also got a Celtic channel as well, and he runs a Rangers channel and a Liverpool channel. Hats off to Dan. You know what I mean? He's making a living at it. So, but I wouldn't go down the road of having a Celtic and a Rangers news channel. I just think that's a bit off. Anyway, we'll move on. Starfelt is off, says Soapy. It's just the fact he had an injury, we were told yesterday, but we'll talk about that also. Hail. Love the channel. Love the new live content. Keep them in the path row. Yep, it is the way that I'm going to keep it. The way that the channel used to go before, if you remember back when we had the computerized voice women, there's too many copycat channels. I knew it was a concept that could always be copied. And especially with the internet marketers being as clever as they are. And there's some amount of gum channels out there now. And then obviously there's the big faceless one, Celtic News, which is run by Dan. And it's wonder why he never shows his face on it, because he shows his face on the Rangers News channel. So we'll leave that there. But he gets the views, so fair play to him. He runs a Liverpool channel as well. His Liverpool channel does really well. And he's making a living at it. So fair play to him with that. But I don't think it was right running a Celtic and a Rangers one. Anyway, we move on from that. It's all about Celtic in here. Yeah, thanks for that. Gary, it is the path that we're going to keep on going. Tell me in the comments if you want to do this live during the James Forrest game. We can be watching it on our telly, and we can have the wee comments, and we can have the running commentary on this at the same time. It'll be an interesting test for the channel, let's say. Is it possible to build a new stand? On the main stand? No, it's too much money. It's going to cost about £100 million to build the new stand, because you have to build it. You have to put. See, it's weird because I know that the way they build things in this country, and you could probably do it if it was in this country, but in this country they would just flatten everything and rebuild it in concrete. The fact that in the UK everything's built with steel, which is if it had been built with concrete, if they built it like they do the stadiums over here, you probably could. But the way that the old main stand is built, it's going to cost £100 million. It's been suggested to upgrade that stand, and Celtic are just not in a position to spend £100 million on one stand. It would be good for the look of the stadium, but even trying to build over the top of it would be pretty much hardly impossible, especially with the way that costs are going in the UK. Hail, hail. Another set from Drum Chapel are in the house. How you doing, Barry? What do you think of the new keeper? What new keeper? What new keeper? Hail, hail from Inverness. New keeper, please. Hi, Barry. Keep telling us you put the shutters. Keep the sun out. Put the shutters to keep the rain out. I heard the weather's been terrible back home today. It's just one of those things. We had really bad weather at the start of the year, where the jet stream was right over coming around the Med. So I knew it was going to be a horrible summer for Scotland because the jet stream wasn't moving up quick enough. Anyway, Texas is in the house. We're in Australia, we're in Amsterdam, we're in Texas, we're in Ireland, we're in Scotland, we're in Spain. As a global fan base, we are truly Celtic fans all around the world. Hail, hail, Baz. The Celtic team needs a goalkeeper who can come out and catch a ball instead of punching it. Yes, a new left back. Alistair Johnson will, if you got another player like Alistair Johnson on the other side of the pitch, we would have one team. Colt Bridges in the house, Donegal, Kevin Kieran again. I don't know about that. Hail, hail, James Forrest Club legend. Good evening, Baz. I'm just getting through all the good evenings. First of all, good sound, Baz. Perfect. Hi, hail. Right, let's just jump forward. Hail, hail from the Grampian boys. Are you worried we've not strengthened enough? Yes. To a certain extent, I think we've got a good squad to do the league again this year. We've got a good enough squad. And talking about the league, there was an interesting one came out from the one and only Alan Stubbs. Now, you've got to remember, Alan Stubbs was a cracking defender for us. Alan Stubbs was one defender that could hit a diagonal ball. He could hit the ball out for defence, and he could hit a diagonal ball that would pinpoint land at the feet of a player. You know, whether it be at Cadet, whether it be Van Hooijdonk at the time, or any player, he could hit a diagonal ball. Him. He has suggested that Celtic will win the league by 15 points. He doesn't rate the players that have basically come in across the city, and he said that Brendan will get his own stamp on this team eventually. It basically goes on across the city. They made a load of signings, but technically they're good, but they went down the physical route. We know the way that they're going to play. They're going to try and just bash us off the ball this year, right? But he went on to say, with Rodgers, it's been a total build. It's been a total different coming into Celtic this season. It says, let me just see. That was the rebuild. I'm just skipping through the whole thing. That's what the board and Derby was. There's a point in time Celtic on a couple of real session. New deals. Right. See, I should have highlighted it before. Right. It goes on to say that if he feels that Celtic are good for a 12 to 15 point gap from the end of the league. He also then goes on to say, he says, having sold Jota for 25 million and losing Aaron Moy, he reckons that Celtic are still a force to be reckoned with. He says the Korean boys that have came in Kiwon and Yang. It says they've added to the ranks. It says the Polish centre-back and the Australian attacker, Marco Tilio, who we haven't even seen yet. And we've seen a bit of Odin, but, there's Marco's still to come into to that as well. It says Rodgers knows the club inside out. He said he replaced, obviously, Postecoglou. He says the transition for Brendan this time has been far more seamless. It says with unfamiliar faces that were in charge. It says the board and Desmond went out their way. It says if somebody new had come in, they might have wanted to start again. Getting the big fee for Jota was interesting. It says blah, 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 blah. Let me see. Window closes. Right, here he goes. This is what Alan Stubbs says. Before the window closes, I expect him to get a couple of his own signings in. It says they've looked towards the Asian market again. From the outside, it looks though they were in place before Brendan arrived. Definitely. The early signings that we got were all ones that the scouting staff had looked at for a long time, apart from maybe one player. They definitely have the likes of Yang and Keown earmarked before Ange left. Brendan obviously giving them the blessing. But I believe there could be a marquee signing in the wings waiting at Celtic. It says, I believe that Brendan will have his eye on at least one big player to get fans really excited. Stubbs then goes on to believe, it says it will be good for everyone else in Scotland that Celtic is so good because hopefully they'll improve in Europe, which should also help the coefficient. I think this season Celtic and Brendan will be far stronger opponents in the Champions League. For all the good work that Ange did, the European campaign wasn't strong, and it didn't go as we hoped. Brendan's record in Europe is better. It says in that area, he wants Celtic to improve this year. In terms of the league, I expect it to be normal service resumed for Celtic. 3 in a row. It's on the road. Anyway, but in addition, there will be a lot stronger for the Champions League campaign, as he does expect Celtic to make the marquee signing. So, tell me what you think about that in the comments. I'm going to jump right to the front of the comments because if you want Tati competition, I heard that Tate, or whatever you pronounce it, is more chance of him going to Fenerbahce. We need a goalkeeper. I think we need a goalkeeper. I think we can all agree that we need a goalkeeper. Right. We need that goalkeeper. Yeah, we do need that goalkeeper. If we can go out and get that Croatian goalkeeper, it'd be fantastic. Right. What other bit of Celtic news do we have? I put a link in the comments from Club Athletic Bilbao, and they put a statement today. Now, usually when clubs do testimonials and things like that, they basically just turn up and, they just go through the emotion. Club Bilbao have put out a statement saying on Tuesday, August the 1st at 8:30 Central East European time. It's only the second time that they've taken on the Scottish side. The first mid-season exhibition at the old stadium in Spain was on March 2011. It was a 0-0 draw. James Forrest, they went on to say, has been a magnificent player for Celtic over the years. It is Athletics' 125th anniversary. James Forrest, born just 30 miles outside Glasgow in Prestwick, has now spent all 14 seasons of his career at his boyhood club. The 32-year-old winger recently signed a new contract extension until 2025, potentially extending his time with Celtic to 15 seasons, just like Oscar Di Marcos at Athletic. Forrest made a total to date 467 appearances, scored 102 goals for Celtic. Celtic are no strangers to one club men, with one of their best players showing fierce loyalty in the green and white stripes. Such example was Billy McNeill, the legendary captain from the Celtics' 1967 European Lisbon Lions. And in recognition for his career, which included 822 appearances across 18 seasons, McNeill won Athletics' 2019 One Club Man Award, with his daughter Susan and former teammate John Clark coming to Bilbao to collect the accolade in his honour, as Billy passed away just 3 weeks later after being named winner of the award. And I can remember being at the stadium for Billy McNeill's funeral. It was quite an emotional time. They then go on to talk about the fact that Celtic play in a 60,000-seater stadium since They then say they've just completed a fifth domestic trip. This is where it gets good. It's a bit of a dig at the Sevco. They finished 7 points ahead of Rangers in the league. Their City rivals defeated Inverness in the Scottish Cup. They've had an incredible total of 116 major titles, 53 league championships. We are going for 54. We're only 2 away for the 55, and then we're going to do it. We're going to do 56 and put them in their place, and Celtic will be the most successful club in Scotland. Celtic also have 41 Scottish Cups, 21 Scottish League Cups, and the big one, the European Cup. Brendan Rodgers is obviously the new coach. They went on to say we'll miss that bit of that. They also talk about the fact that Glasgow has a population. Watch this. This is funny. A population of 1,900,000 inhabitants and are called Glaswegians. Very similar to Bilbao. The industry was specifically around shipbuilding in its early days. It played a huge part in Glasgow's history. What more, Glaswegians are famous for their distinctive dialect, which derives from Scots, but is heavily influenced by the Irish. You dancer, get in, boom, boom. A cracker. That's absolutely brilliant. Anyway, let's get back. I hope you're bored. What? We've spent 0. Right, let's get back to the comments. Sinead O'Connor. Yes. God bless Sinead O'Connor. That was devastating news. Given the chance, could be a unit up front. But he needs time on the park. He does need time on the park. He did score, 7 or 9 goals last season? I can't remember. I think it was one of the two, 7 or 9. I can't remember. And he does need game time. Is he a tank up front? We'll see. And without the penalty bingo, they drop points every week. Yes, they did. Yo, Kaiser where have you been, mister? Yo, legends. Hail. Says the Kaiser. Where have you been? You've been missing on the lives. But it's good that you're along here this evening. I agree with Stubbs. I think it is a bit early to judge how many points we will finish ahead of them. To be fair, I've not even looked at any of their media. I don't know the players that they've brought in. I've just gone through some of the media, the press today, just to see what is going on the wider Celtic thing. And Stubbs, that one came up. Right, let's see what other news. Right, this is lazy journalism by the Daily Record. And I've seen this today. And it was just, anything to just try and get clicks, if you ask me, right? When every player's contract expires as 7 stars in the class of 25, Brendan Rodgers has food for thought. They then go on to go through when everybody's contracts are up. And then at the bottom, right, estimated, unconfirmed by the club. That's all you need to know about that. Anyway, Rocky, there's been an update with Rocky. He was obviously missing from the 1-1 draw yesterday against Wolves. A lot of people were surprised not to see him in the squad, but he does have a small injury that he picked up prior to joining Celtic. He tweaked his ankle just before training, but hopefully he'll be okay for Tuesday, it has been suggested. So it'll be interesting to get Rocky some game time. We spoke about Liam Scales this morning and Stephen Welsh. They began centre-back at the weekend. They're not going to be your first team. I think Rocky's going to come in with Starfelt. Will probably be the lineup next week, purely for the fact that, what is that? Is that the big boat? No, it's okay. Just calm. The dog's looking at the window at the Tabarka Island yacht going out. Anyway, let's get back to the news. Let's see some of the comments. Right, Kaiser, where have you been? We need a big striker. Love to see us playing 2 up front. Yep. We're still a bit of quality. Yeah, we're still a bit short of quality for Europe. But we don't know how good these guys that are coming in from South Korea. I think we definitely need somebody at the back just to make sure that we're a bit more solid, a big tank. And then, how good is Maida? What a machine. I think also the goalkeeper situation, I mean, Joe Hart did okay during the game, but he's still got those dodgy moments about him. But then again, Fraser Foster used to come out at Celtic Park half-time every game and practice his kicks. So the draw for the bid play Is it? Right. So that'll be interesting. We'll get that live. Keep an eye out on that for us. Where's my phone? Is it on Twitter or is it going to be anyway? Martin says hello again, mate. Keeper and a Jota replacement and another pie. I'm starving. I'm starving as well. I should have got some crisps or something for sitting eating while I was still here. We're 20 minutes in. I'm going to 40 minutes before I can get something to eat. Jesus. Anyway, the draw has already been done. Who have we got in the draw? Don't know how well any of these new guys will fit in yet. Play. We got Kilmarnock. Did we get Kilmarnock away since they've dropped the allocation? We've drawn Kelly. Hail from International Space Station. Now Paisley. The draw's been made. Kelly away. Kelly away. I bet Sevco got a home game. They always get a home game. Anyway, Celtic away to Kelly. Right, let's see if there's any other. There's nothing really. Let's see. I get an update on Celtic news. Update. Yep, we get Kelly. Rangers get Morton at home. See, told you. Anyway, Celtic's trophy defence of the Vidplay Cup starts away to Kilmarnock. And obviously, Sevco are at home to Morton. So, anyway, pundit delighted. Let's change the season. Celtic face Kelly. Celtic to host Kelly in the last 16 of the Vidplay Cup. That's an easy game. We'll win that. Unique angle shows Furiashi off the ball and how he worked to get the goal. One thing that I've noticed as well that I've been on about today is Jurgen Klopp has been going on about the young Ben Doak again as he gets his first senior goal for Liverpool. How bad is it that Celtic let Ben Doak slip through their fingers? I mean, he got on a couple of games towards the end of the season, 2 seasons ago. But I just think that was one of the most, we've let so many of these young players go. And it's just, we need to start bleeding them into the team. If they're good enough, young enough, it doesn't matter. Come on, like pies. Come on to do a great pie. We're getting destroyed. Expensive. Joe Hart. Let's see this one. Giant left. Give us heart attacks. Hunt still need a penalty to beat Morton. Brown is Kelly Pies. Right, let's get some more comments and see where everyone is around the world. I don't know if I'm going to do an hour tonight because we've done the live this morning. Also, only the real news going around this evening is the fact that Celtic have drawn Kilmarnock away. When it comes down to anything on the transfer, Brendan Rodgers transfer update. Let's see that. What are they saying? Transfer update news. 12:30 kickoff. There's not a lot going on in transfer. Let me click on transfer news on here. Celtic transfer news. And there is Chris Sutton believes there's a new Simon. No. Liam Scales to Aberdeen. Links intensify. That's coming from the Aberdeen Live website. Liam Scales to Aberdeen link intensify as Barry Robson holds talks with Celtic boss Brendan Rodgers. I still think that it's going to be the case that Celtic will only let Liam Scales go to Aberdeen if he is guaranteed some kind of guarantee. You can't guarantee players football. I know that. I'm not sure enough to know that, but I think if he's going to play first team football, I think it might be better for him to go there and play first team football. Obviously, he won't be allowed to play against Celtic, but for his progression, I think it might be better for him. He still is only 24. Got a lot of time for him still to improve as a defender. A couple of years, but getting him back in the first team, he did okay yesterday. But we've got a couple of guys that are going to sit in front of him. So it is all about getting game time for the player. It's not the fact that he's not good enough for Celtic. He's good. He's a good squad player, but he could probably progress that a little bit more if he's playing week in, week out. I can see the Kelly match being on a Saturday night, 5:30. How does it go with the cup? Do they have to give us a bigger away allocation? That would kill them if they did. They'll still just give us the one stand. I don't think they'll increase it for any more than that. The Huns have been practicing diving. How many dodgy penalties will they get this season? The Greenock Tims will know for sure that Morton could take them. We'll go with that. That's even better. Let me see. If he takes a jetty with him, he can go on loan for a year. Right. We need to stop the jetty slagging off his shite, and we need rid of him. We know this. Kevin, how are you this evening? I thought Hart was good at Wolves game, but and has to have to go. That's a man. Do you think has to go? Do you think he got enough game time to prove himself? I think he could be a good. We've got him in. He's not the best. To be perfectly honest, we need a Griffiths type player. We need a Griffiths type player that's going to come on and do stuff. Was brought in as a big sort of target man after we lost our Greek to the Americans. And I just think that we didn't replace them with like for like. You know, Ange probably brought in some of these players knowing that they might be good enough to do a job for Celtic, but taking us to the next level, certainly probably not. Let me see some more of the comments. Scales, we will miss him as a hard tackler, stands up for his team. Yep, he did that. I mean, Scales is a decent player. He proved a lot of people wrong yesterday. There's a lot of people that we did the live, and talking about lives, we've just been on. We are going to do a live on Tuesday evening. So if you are watching the James Forrest testimonial game at home, if you've got an Amazon stick and that, and if you're watching that at home, we're going to do a live so we can basically have the comments and see how we think of the game. And I'll do a little bit of running commentary. No, I'm not. We'll just sit and talk about the game, and we'll have it on your own screens. I was going to have it on the screen there, but I might get copyrighted from Celtic, and don't want that. So I can't obviously show the game on the screen. Let's get some more comments up. Celtic are known for buying players towards the end of the window. Yes, they are, Sean. And keep smiling and hit the smash button. Yes, make sure that you hit the thumbs up because it actually does help with the algorithm. Yeah, I think we were spoiled under Ange Postecoglou because he knew the type of players that he was wanting in. He knew that he could get them at a certain point. And, you know, bringing the guys in for the Far East is fine, but European-ready players is what we really need to go for. Daniel Bachman, 24-year-old Watford keeper. 13 caps for Austrian. Is your opinion, Kenneth? That's an interesting one. What happened to Mumbai boy? I think there's a deal sniffing about for that, but it's kind of pulled out. It went a bit quiet. O's goals, yeah, Martin, that's true. Goals to game ratio is good. When you look back last season and you've seen the amount of goals that he scored compared to how many games he played, it's up there pretty good. Yang looks a good player, says Nicholas. He did that. I thought he needs a bit more time on the pitch, though. O's much fine and will get better. Trust me, says JJ. CFC 1888 says, evening, lads and lasses. Studs, believe it or not, I actually thought Frank McCarthy. Frank McCarthy. Yeah. Anyway, early days, give O a chance, for fuck's sake. Evening, buddy. What's the latest? What is the latest? DJ Singy, the one and only Celtic DJ, is in the house. If you missed the start, we basically spoke about Alan Stubbs. Alan Stubbs reckoned that Celtic will finish the season between 12 and 15 points ahead of the Rangers. He also says that he expects normal service to be resumed. Celtic will make some additions, and he says that Brendan Rodgers will bring in a marquee signing before the end of the transfer window to make sure that Celtic are strong enough, or stronger this year for opponents in the Champions League. He had a bit of a dig at Ange, saying for all the good work that Ange did, the European campaign wasn't as strong as he hoped. Brendan's record in Europe is where Celtic will want to improve this year. He says, Alan Stubbs then went on to say, I expect it to be normal service resumed for Celtic as they go for 3 in a row. No Rocky, he has a little niggling injury. He's meant to be back for the game on Tuesday. Club Athletic Bilbao put out a statement saying about James Forrest was absolutely brilliant. I put that in the first comments on this, so if you see it, have a look at that. I might put it in the community tab also. Transfer activity. There's not a lot of transfer activity going around. Obviously, Liam Scales to Aberdeen link intensifies after Barry Robson has held talks with Brendan Rodgers. And I think that's going to be interesting to watch to see if he does go to Aberdeen. Brendan Rodgers still to make up his mind over Postecoglou's signings. It's also been suggested. And the Scott McTominay one, Celtic are never going to go for Scott McTominay now. Not with a £45 million transfer. It's now been suggested that even Newcastle are not going to go for him, which I don't think he would go to Newcastle anyway, but you never go. Anyway, bye, I'll keep smiling. See you later. Yeah, I think we're going to keep it around about 35 minutes tonight. There is 420 people online. I think is okay. He's a solid guy, but Brendan Rodgers will bring him on. Could have got a worse League Cup draw, bringing injured players back. When is the Cup game? I've not got the... When... Let me just find out. I'll find it out later. Big O 2 over trying to score, just as Maida sometimes. Yeah, it's one of those players. Brendan will probably teach him how to calm down a bit. He has got that bit where he's for effort. You can't fault him for effort. But another one. Keep Scales, let the sheep take Kobe and a jetty for free. Hi from Govan. Marco will be the Jota replacement. It's a big statement. It's a big statement, Marco. Do you think he'll be... We've never seen him in action yet, so we can't really comment until... I mean, you can go on YouTube clips, and as Big Sutton says you could put together a montage of his time at Chelsea that would make Sutton look good. And I think Sutton was saying that with tongue in cheek because he knew his time at Chelsea was just an absolute shambles. Hence the reason that Celtic managed to get him for only $6 million. Graham Hardy says I would keep Scales. Kaiser, who is in the house, says play Scales at left back. That's an interesting one. Does he have the pace though? It's okay saying playing him at left back, but then you're going back to the old formation that we stopped playing where the left backs don't sprint up the pitch. You know, we kind of used the pace of the wing backs over the last couple of seasons, and I think we're going to try and keep that to a certain extent. So playing him at left back for me would be a bit of a change of system. More chance of going to back three and playing in a back three. With that, hit the thumbs up, says Sean. Yep, I don't even know how many thumbs up we've got. Let me just go on to click here and do this quickly. And then we'll see exactly how many thumbs up if the laptop hurries up and brings it on. Just click here. Should have done this before. I usually have it already set up, but I didn't this evening because I was trying to grab a quick bite to eat beforehand. Still tell me in the comments we're going to do this live. 400. What was that? There's 433 watching. There is only 100 and 437 now. There's 109 thumbs up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Where's Corona? The Pluton here. 110. We're at 110 now. Yep, we are at 110. There we go. Right, let's get back to the comment. Marco does say that, right, the comments have jumped back again. I would keep Marco will be the Jota replacement. Need a left back. Get the thumbs up. Thumbs up. Wee Taylor first half yesterday got caught a bit out. The second half he was okay. I think it's because it was a bit of a step up yesterday, and you know, we did have to step up our game. And the fact we spoke about it this morning, love it. The fact that he's not sitting with the normal centre backs at the game. When you've got players that are as good, you can slag Starfelt for all we want, but the combination of Carter Vickers and Starfelt at the back, your two wide players at the back have got that confidence that they know that they're there. Playing with Scales and Welsh at back yesterday was probably a bit unknown, so it probably made him that little bit more nervous and a bit more defensive minded. in my opinion, and that's why it's called the One Celtic Fans View, because we all get our opinions on this channel. Needs games, he will score plenty. Yep, I think he will. He does just need game time, and Brendan will know. Brendan will know, and O just need to put his laces through the ball. And he's trying to walk the ball into the back of the net, smash them like Gigi. Yep. And that was one thing that Gigi was good at. I know how it was a bit of a joke from calling him the big grumpy Greek, but he did want away from Celtic. He wanted to move on to bigger and better things and bigger wages. Let's get some more comments in. I think the 1st of September could be interesting. A couple of signings on deadline day. Now, I don't think we'll wait that long. I definitely don't think that Brendan will wait that long, because when you wait to deadline day, you're scrambling about. I think, if anything, deadline day, it'll be the day that a lot of players maybe leave the club. Bernabe is in the left back, filling the left wing, better attacker than Haksabanovic, who's exposed. Buenas tardes to Gibraltar. Just tuned in. Peter, how was Gibraltar the evening? So that's it. We have had this evening. We've had Holland, we've had Ireland, we've had Spain, we've had Gibraltar, we've had Australia, and have I missed it anywhere so far? To completely around the world, a total around the world fan base. I'm making my dinner, just listening. Hail, Lee. What are you having? Because I'm starving. My missus and her mate are away out for tapas. Hail, says Tarmac, where you been? Barry is Frank Brennan, James McCarthy. Yeah, I know, both from Castle Milk. Yeah, I was yes, the comments are coming through that fast that you're trying to scan through and pick it some out. I should really just go into the YouTube channel and watch them on the YouTube channel, but I don't. I do it through StreamYard. The recruitment has proved that they know what they're doing. The recruitment team has. Now, a lot of people go on the fact that it was Ange Postecoglou that picked the players. And there was an interview that Ange Postecoglou did, and he said, look, I don't have the names of the players, apart from Kyogo and Hatate and Dyson, because he knew the players and he knew that they could do a job for him. But when it comes to, he went to the recruitment staff and he said, right, this is the type of player I need for this position. And they do their homework, and they've already got a list. The recruitment team are consistently working on an ongoing basis to look at players that are coming through systems, coming through teams, and they'll be looking at contract situations with players and everything. The amount of work that goes on in the background for recruitment of players is unbelievable, and I think Celtic have done really well at it. Let's get some more comments. JD says, agree with Stubbsy. And a couple of more signings plus one, plus a good few fringe players out the door. Yep. These things will happen later in the window. Naturally, yep, patience. I definitely agree with Stubbsy with that. There will be at least one or two Brendan Rodgers type signings, and we know the type of signings that Brendan liked, because he was the one that brought in, the one and only Musa Dembele. Bilbao are a quality club, brothers in arms. Yeah, and it's good because I'm seeing a lot of. It's obviously July and August. I mean, Spain basically shuts down on holiday for the whole of August, but I am seeing a lot of Bilbao tops as they get away from the cold weather up at the top of Spain. Cold. It's 20 odd degrees. It's not cold, and then they come down here for some sun at this time of year. It's where a lot of people from this part of the world bugger off to colder climates. DJ Singy, he says, cheers, my man. Top channel, keep it up. Hail. Oh, yep, cheers for that, DJ Singy. And check out DJ Singy's page because he does some cracking little mixes. Robert Lee says, hail. Hong Kong is in the house also. So that's it. We've got America, we've got Hong Kong, we've got Australia, we've got Amsterdam, we've got Holland, we've got Spain, we've had Ireland, we've had Scotland. All we need is someone down south in England. Afternoon bars for the West Midlands. It's in the house. We've done it. We are getting there. We are completely worldwide. This is the buzz on this channel. The weekend of 19th of August. Alan, thanks for that. That's the game, the cup game. Cheers for that, folks. Obviously, that's that question, when is the cup game? So that'll be interesting. We're going to win that. I don't think that there'll be anything in it. I see the Egyptian guy, Mohammed, his name popping up again today. only after he went. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that because there's players saying that Celtic maybe came in, and it's if we didn't make an offer for you, you obviously weren't good enough. It's by war fans. From the Basque Country. Let me see, 18th, 19th August. Who do we get in the cup? We've got Kilmarnock. Thumbs up to Kaiser. I see Napoli are interested in Tete as well now. I think the fact that Brendan had him, and he did okay at the beginning, it'll be interesting to see if Brendan we wanted him. I think the fact that he's now a free agent, I'm sure Brendan would have had the phone call with him and made him an offer. So I don't know. We haven't been. I mean, it's not as if Brendan, even though that we've been doing the tour of Japan and we were in Portugal and then we're over in Ireland, but we was at home for a whole week, So I mean, there's a thing called internet and that, and the phones. I'm sure they would have been on the phone to the recruitment guys to see where we are at. Well said, Kaiser. What did you say, Kaiser? I'm missing it. Yeah, 417. There's more thumbs up than that, Kaiser. 96. There is 145 thumbs up now with 423 watching. So make sure you hit the thumbs up. Share it on Twitter if you're on Twitter. Stay away from Facebook because Facebook is just a nightmare. Because what happens is you don't come through to YouTube when you watch any YouTube from Facebook. So let's get back. People are asking who we got in the cup. We've got Kilmarnock. And let's go to the new comments. Right. New comments. Love Australian Celtic supporters travel video. Japan, funny as hell. 2 players, says Martin, goalkeeper and a left back. Bernabe, the left back, is to beat the man. It'll be interesting to see how much Bernabe improves this season if he does it all. Scales was brilliant. A lot of got a lot of people talking in Ireland. Hello, Helen. Hail to you. Bernabe was super quick. Give the boy a chance. But there's a lot of people commenting. It is only pre-season. Where's the convo here? 110 thumbs up. Tweeted the video of Bob tribute to Caesar was amazing. Yeah, that was amazing. And obviously they put out that statement this evening, and his daughter Susan and John Clark went over to get that award. Unfortunately, he died 3 weeks later. Who's Jota? Forget him. Yep, exactly. That's the way that I see it. And it's funny because when you do these videos, you obviously have a lot of pictures of the players on your laptop, and you basically have went through the summer deleting everything Jota and deleting everything Ange Postecoglou. Yes, Diane Sloan in Rangers treble flags. There was a guy tagged me on a video, and I never go into the YouTube comment stuff a lot, purely because there's far too many comments and I've not got enough time to go through them all. That's why I prefer the live, so I can see a lot of the comments as they happen. But somebody tagged me in a video and I put it in the community tab, and somebody went up. It was obviously drove near Ibrox, and they drove up, and he was a Rangers scarf seller, and they asked him if there's any Rangers champions flags, and the guy laughed and read, Rangers champions flags? No, I've not got any of them. And the guy says, yeah, that's where we like to keep it. Marco is similar, playing style with Paddy Roberts. Brendan will love him. Yeah, we can't wait to see Marco playing plastic pitch at Kelly while the Huns get a bye at home. Yeah, and they'll probably still get the good old penalty bingo when it is not going their way. Hail from Holland. What's for dinner? Baz asked the Kaiser. I've no idea. We'll be going out this evening. We'll probably be eating around about the back of 9-10 o'clock once it cools down a bit. Bernard is a winger. A few people are getting the Derby game. There's 1-1 goalkeeper and bottled it. Dan Sloan, the Rangers. So let's get some more comments. Come on, fellow Tim, hit the like button. There's that one went. Tillio's going to be some player buzz. There's a few Australian guys in the house tonight. If you can tell us how good Marco is. Obviously, we've not seen him in action yet, but everyone seems to be saying that he is some player. So it will be good to get him fit and get him playing. There was another post that I was going to try, but I'm calling sofa surfing to your gaff. So I don't need a hotel. There's absolutely no chance of that happening. That's why I didn't let anybody know where to stay. Anyway, right. Penalty is for the men and women's team this week. Let's see if there's any other Celtic news kicking about. And there's nothing going around. Chris Sutton believes new summer signings could give Celtic tactical options for Europe. It's going to be when we look at the game yesterday. Now they finished 13th in the league, and I know people said that their team is they lost a few players, but we lost 2 players. If you're going to talk about it like that, the game yesterday, we lost 2 players through one being sold, one through retirement. There was 2 players at the back that weren't there. Also, if we had our full first team out yesterday, I think the scoreline would have been a lot better. That would be great with a proper haircut. What are you talking about? Say I'm late. Ozzy, you're always late. 45 minutes. I told everyone this morning it was going to be 6 p.m. UK time, and you come in 45 minutes into the game. I'm not even going to talk about what we've talked about so far. So let's try and get some more comments. Love it. Says Cornfield Sims, hit the like button and give our boy Baz some support. That'd be fantastic. Craig Moore, the character, says he's not as good as a Bada. That's interesting. Did Craig Moore say that? He's not as good as a Bada. I'm expecting a Bada to have a fantastic season this year. I think the little flick back for the goal yesterday was good. I'm late again. Baz, enjoying your channel. Keep it up. Yeah, cheers for that, Peter. And I'm sure you commented saying on one of the videos today, lives are the way forward for this channel. It's more inclusive. And if you haven't been on, if you've missed the early, we're going to do a live on Tuesday evening. So if you are watching the game from home, we're going to do a live. I'm going to rearrange the furniture so that the TV isn't showing Celtic TV and I don't get copyrighted for it, because I understand that Celtic are going through everyone's channels just now, making sure that there's no copyright material. It'd be great with the Tam Mac. And let's get some more. Good thing I'm not a bird. Makeshift defence, no excuses. We've got a makeshift defence, no excuses. That was the game yesterday. We're going to get players back in the next couple of weeks, so Brendan's not too worried about On Go Radio. What was On Go Radio? What was On Go Radio? I'll look at that later. Finishing Europe was our problem. We need to be a bit sharper and finish the chances we create. Yes, and that is the one thing where Kyogo needs to improve his game. And in Europe, he needs to really make sure he's a bit more clinical, and especially if he wants to get to the heady heights of the likes of Henrik Larsson. Henrik was absolutely a fantastic finisher for us in Europe, and you know, when you think back to 2003, when Larsson scored the 2 goals, you think that Celtic were going to go on and win the game that day, but obviously we didn't. I missed the morning's one, but I'll watch it back. Thank you for that. And this morning one went on for about an hour. I might do an early Sunday morning one live, just the news one as normal, because it's so good just to get that out of the way, and it's a lot easier than doing. You should be allowed to do a live reaction to the game, Baz. It's on in the background. I'll Google it and see if it's possible. I wouldn't want to chance it, Kaiser, even if it's on in the background, because I've done that with we've done a video. I've done a video in pubs before, and it got copyrighted for the TV being on in the background. So I'd rather not chance it getting a copyright strike from Celtic of all people. Yeah. Let's got tickets for James's. Where did that go? I see comments and they jump up so far. Craig Moore saying about the Aussie boy wasn't as good as Bada. And Celtic TV. Fire start. What's the score with the Huns game shown on Celtic TV? Or is it just my fire start mess? I have no idea. We need Carter Vickers back as soon as possible and a new goalkeeper. If we can pull out that, Doug's going to start. That's just sleeping. If we can pull out all stops and get in that goalkeeper for 9 million, I think that's what we really need. That's a joke. Celtic need to calm down. Lol. Yeah, the new guy that's coming in at Celtic on the board is from Apple. that's joined the board. He's going to take us to the next level with all sorts of stuff online. It's important to see Celtic's history and where we can overtake both versions of the RFC. We are only 2 league titles away from the 55. We are going to win the league this year. I'm going to put that out there before a ball is kicked. I think we're too strong for them. I think they will try and bully teams. I think they're going to dive all over the place. We'll talk about that next week. We're going to do a live next Friday before the season starts. So Friday evening, we will be going live also. We'll probably do a live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings at 6 o'clock just to get the lives. And then we'll also have the Celtic news videos when they come out. I'd like to think that on our fan media all the time, we won the treble last season and retained most of our key players. We have a fantastic manager that's come back. The Rangers press make us think that they are. Yeah, I think that the media in Scotland, I don't miss it. I think the media in Scotland have got this anybody but Celtic, attitude. And just stop. Let me read the media and give you the stories. That's the easiest way to do it. Goalkeeper Marco is brilliant, mate. Seen him a few times, says Martin. That's interesting, Martin. As I say, we're hoping that is as good as what everybody says. They might have. Let me see this. They might have been listening to my ideas for the club, a global app, Celtic coverage of £10 a month. Yeah, that would be interesting if they did that. 6 p.m. is when. Why are you listening to Sevco FM anyway? 6 p.m. is Sevco radio phoning. Listen to Sevco radio phoning on the replay. Right, I'm not changing the time. I would have to then, I could do it at 5 o'clock, but there's a lot of people traveling home for work. So I could do it at 5 o'clock. I'm not going to do it any later because then it then gets into a crazy time of night here. I could do it at 5 o'clock UK time. So you could be driving home for work and having me on the Celtic channel. If it makes a difference, tell me in the comments. I'll put up a poll up in the community tab. I'll put a poll up in the community tab for the lives during the week. Nah, mate, 6 p.m. That's 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. And we'll see what the majority come out with. The transfer window is not over. Abada could still leave, said David Lawson. Abada said that he wants to stay at Celtic for this season. It was suggested last year, obviously, that Abada wanted to go. And I think you can get Snide FM on replay on Spotify. You can get it on Spotify on replay. The transfer window, there still could be, if there was going to be somebody coming in for Abada, I think they would have came in for him just now beforehand. I think so, preferably. Great idea, mate. Right, I'm going to do 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Yeah, definitely do a poll, mate. Great idea. Yeah, I'll do a poll, and I'll just say, to be fair, just like to hear the Mongos and the mad conspiracy theorists on Snide FM. Bring on Saturday, give us that flag. Look forward to the season ahead. Yes, it is all about to kick off again. A brand new season for Celtic. The missus is going back to. I was at Glasgow. I was at Edinburgh Airport last week, a week today actually, and I was hoping to pick up the new Celtic top there. There was none my size, which was obviously lots of people going on holiday buying the Celtic top. So I'll need to try and get that picked up in the next couple of weeks. Everybody talking about. No one says a word about something cooking on the pot. Strange days. What are you talking about, Tom? Abada's going nowhere, Peter. Yep, he is. Abada's came out after his little talk with Brendan. I think Brendan will be looking to see how much he can improve Abada. If Brendan can make him into half the player that we think Abada could turn out to be, he's going to go for more than Jota. I'll say that. We sell Jota and the MSM explodes, claiming that we're weaker. They lose 6 players on free transfers, and they're now shoplifting in Poundland. Yeah. people saying that Celtic are weaker, and it's like we've only really lost 3 players. Now we've lost Jota, right? Well, in fact, we only really lost 2 players because Aaron Moy wasn't a consistent in the first half of the season. Aaron Moy had a fantastic second half of the season in the World Cup, but he was playing through the pain barrier, and he decided to call time in his career to spend more time with his family. And fair play to him. You know, he had a successful career. So as it stands, we're really only 2 players down. We sold 1 player for 25 million cash. Selling a player for 25 million cash in this day and age is a fantastic deal. Shug Keevans, I'm not even going to say that because 6 p.m. is fine. You have your tea at 5. JJ. We tend to eat a lot later here in Spain anyway, so that's why I couldn't do it any later. It was 6 p.m. Keep it with that, says Martin. 6 p.m. 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Jesus, 4 p.m. is Go Radio. It's just that much media. Right, I'm going to call it quits at exactly 1 hour. We're at 407. We have a weaker start. Wait a minute. Right, the scout. We have a weaker starting 11 for our first game of the season next week. Not acceptable. How are we weaker? We're weaker because of injuries. The two players that are down on the squad. If Postecoglou was here, he would be saying that we're going in out the window, but I don't believe a word that man says now. After the way that he left Celtic, are we weaker? We're weaker when it comes down to the fact that there's a couple of players injured. That can't be helped. As a squad, I don't think that the squad is weaker. I think the squad needs still a little bit trimmed. As new guys came in that will help the squad. We need a replacement for Jota. We need a goalkeeper. You know, but other than that, going into the season, we're still good. We're still good for the season. Happy holidays, bad. Great we show. We should be able to walk this league. Yes, I think we should be able to walk this league this season. When we get to the live next Friday, which is the big live, and that's probably going to go on for about an hour and a half. So I think we're going to talk about what the expectations are for the season, but we'll leave that from that. Kevin, the Governing Emerald, that's a fantastic bus. The Governing bus, that's a fantastic bus. It's one of the good guy buses. Yeah, thumbs up for the Governing Emerald, Kevin. Baz, best Celtic page ever. It's maybe not the best ever. It's certainly not the biggest ever, but it's certainly doing its trick in the Celtic community. What I wanted to do, and the fact that I called it the One Celtic Fans View, and it was always the option to try and make it as inclusive as possible. And I think that's what we are doing. We seem to be doing it really good. What players are out injured, mate? We have a team for the season, not one game. Yep. Obviously, Starfelt's out injured. He should be back. Carter Vickers is injured. Alistair Johnson is injured. There's 3 first-team players that are injured. They will come in. You know, we'll get by the first couple of games of the season. Yes, I know. Snide FM are going to be live on YouTube from Monday, so we can actually see their faces cringe, and the patter will just be as funny. There's an interesting thought. Can we actually do a live watching their live, and then we can actually just absolutely rip them to death on a live? That's bound to be what happened, because you can actually do a screen record, and then we can actually listen into them and rip the pure and utter nonsense out of them at the exact same time as they're live. You could have it as, I could actually do that. You could have it so that the volume was coming through and not the video footage. French toast. Right, let's jump up to the new comments. There's a load of new comments. Hated the new top when it first came out. Never seen it in person. It's not too bad. It's grown on me. I want the away top, and I want that training top. The training top that is out. That is a fantastic training top that they're wearing. I believe that comes out on Tuesday. Abada knows he'll get a good chance. He'll get a move another year under his belt. I hope Abada extends his contract a bit so that we can get a bit more money for him. Let's get the goalkeeper and Abada on a 5-year deal. Brendan will get the best out of Barra and Jamesy Forrest. Meanwhile, Castle Grayskull's a meltdown. It's going to be interesting to see how quick they turn on the manager. Because if they don't qualify for the Champions League, and then if they've got to score a penalty to get past Morton, and if they're not playing that good, it'll not take long before they had a manager that got them a European Cup final, and then they sacked them. Sorry, but I forgot about Moy just because of the activities in the transfer market. Yes, Aaron Moy, it was sad that he had to hang up his boots. Tamac says, hail, hail. 67, Celtic top is class. Yep, we're weaker. Let's jump right to the front of the comments. Have a great night, everyone. Oh, we're on the hour mark. We're on. That's why everyone's saying the tick Kenny Miller. Right, so brilliant. I'm missing a great idea, Baz. Get a trial run, see how it goes. I take it that's with ripping them to death. You can actually do it. We can, there's a way I can do it. So I might actually do that just for pure rip the piss shit to Kenny Miller live when he's on air. That would be so funny. I might start another channel so that it doesn't demonetize this channel. There is another channel that I have that's sitting with, it was a faceless channel that I run for a little while. I might do it on that so that it doesn't harm this channel. And I might rename it Ripping the Piss Shit Snide FM just for pure banter reasons. It would probably go through the roof, that channel. That would be the, but yeah, I wouldn't want to hurt this channel in any way. So the last one will go to Tom. Baz, you've made the 1 hour. Lol, I did, Joseph. I made the 1 hour. And I've no idea where the missus is. She hasn't even been texting, which is good. She's obviously having a nibble and some drinks with her mate. Love that idea. I think if I was going to do that, we could start another channel that already has subscribers on it. And I will let you know where that is so that we could. It's got one video on it as it stands just now because I stupidly deleted a load of content. And I lost the watch hours, but never mind. You can get Snide FM up and we can rip it to absolute pish. Save go. Yes, it would be good watching you, mate, in the 31st. Right, that is it. That is the hour done. Thank you to everyone from Australia, from America, from Holland, from Spain, from Ireland, from Scotland, and from the West Midlands. I think that was the only one that came through from England today. It's always fantastic doing this, doing the lives. It's a great little community I've got here. It's absolutely brilliant. And let me just get the final music as we cut out. We've got to get the outro music in because we are going to welcome you to the party next weekend. So on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic.
Lit, roll up to the party.